In the Second Age, upon the sands of Talatol, during the Great Nether War, the elf king Eth16 found his forces under siege from the invading pigmen. Prince Castian, leading the human ranks, delayed in cowardice, which prompted the elf king to summon such a great strike of lightning that it blasted everything and everyone. The devastation bittered the relationship the mankind had with the other races. Previous to this, Alden's treaty had held a shaky peace among the races at Talatol, so in the early hours of the alliance, Prince Castian's father called for men, elves, dwarves, and treants to join together in a collaboration. Together they crafted the Hall of Kinship under the mountain of Port Bray. After the betrayal at Talatol, the gates to the Hall of Kinship were closed, and the elves, dwarves, and treants were seen no more. But though grudge is long, memory is short, and the reason for its closure was long forgotten in the face of the new Nether invasion. The Arbor Druids, seeking the missing treants, were invited to join the rest of mankind, and the Hall of Kinship was reopened. Time had taken its toll, but everyone knew that the fate of the world would require their cooperation, and that would start with the restoration of the symbolic hall. Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my next episode on Realm of Vasten. My name is Mar, and we are down in my dig, my miniature dig my bits, and I have done quite a bit of work down here. It is not completely dug out yet. I'm actually below where we were before, and I'll poke up there in a minute just to show you, but down here we have got it, basically the perimeter all the way around I have dug out. As high as I can reach. As you can see, there's like, what, 2 blocks, 3 blocks maybe, between this floor and the next floor. And it's not going to be floors. I'm going to tear that out eventually as well. But for now, it's you know, I can't reach it, so it's staying there. So, and I have actually dug out just this main layer here, a little over halfway. Still got to dig out all of this, still down here with the mine shaft going on, all the way down to this side here, is what we're gonna have to dig around to. The mine shaft actually helps quite a bit, because that saves us a little bit of digging, as well as providing wood for more chests and whatnot. But once we dig out the rest of this section here, then we're gonna have to dig like as high up as I can reach. You can see we had some gravel going on here, but basically I'd dig up as high as I can reach, just like that, all over the place, which would leave us that like 2 block gap or layer there, which we'll tear out last. Now if we can get up here, this is the chamber that we had before, completely dug out. As you can, whoops, I forgot that hole was there. I was just going to the corner so I could get a good angle. Come on. Elytra. There we go. So, as you can see, I have dug all the way up there. I actually brought it down another 2 layers because parts of this were originally like kind of embedded in the stone ground here. So I brought it down. This is layer 40. Down below will be layer wide level 30, and I think it's like about 9 or 10 blocks height here, so I add on the other 10, and that's going to be a 20 block height. Now I was originally talking like 30 or 40, but I really think that's like humongously overkill for what I'm wanting to do here. So I'm just going to go with 20 and see how it works. We're not going to look that way too much because spoiler alerts, but so this is how the big dig's coming along. And my chests over here are getting quite full, so we've got a full thing of stone, another full one of stone, almost another full one of stone. The cobblestone is full. We've got another cobblestone one going on here. Both my picks are about to die, so I'm gonna have to go and get them repaired. Let's toss this junk in here. Andesite, smooth stone, my 1 block is smooth stone. Put those in here. I did make some shears, so I have been getting a few cobwebs, not too many. If I ran through like the entire mine shaft, I'm sure I'd get plenty more, but for now I've just been getting the ones that have been in my way. So that's fine though. I'm gonna pack this all up because I do need to go and repair my picks. I can't really do anything else with them until I do that. Let's put the... Actually, yeah, I've only got 5 torches left. Do you see any dark spots? Like, I hate having just 5 torches on hand. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. Because then I could, you know, put that in there. Fill up an inventory slot. But it's okay, it doesn't really matter. So we are going to need to go and repair our pickaxes. And then we're going to switch over and go take a look at the big gate that we've been working on and the interior for the storage area in Port Bray. Now, before I get to that, though, we're currently almost at the end of March, and that means we're about 4 months into this season. And the original plan was that each season would only be about 4 or 6 months long. So this room here, we potentially have as much as 2 months to go before the season's going to be ended. And there I went, falling in the hole again. And I'm lagging too. Cool. But we need to dig all of this stuff out. We need to get this, like, secret pranky thingy finished for Gray. Oops, that's not right. I didn't want to use a rocket. I wanted to use the torches. There we go. Now we can free up that. We need to get this thing done for Gray. Hopefully with time to spare. I don't want to leave this all to the last minute, as well as the entire storage area. So you're thinking, well, like 2 months, that's a lot of time. And you don't want to end too soon, otherwise you'd be like, well, what do I do now for the last 3 weeks? We don't want to do no episodes, right? Unless we wanted to, like, explore, goof off, or whatever, I don't know. Do a collaboration, maybe. But yeah, I think we need to make sure that we keep on point with both this project and the other project. This one's just going to be the hard one because I can't show a lot of it on screen without giving massive spoilers for Gray, because he watches my episodes. So, Elytra? Elytra? Really? I am lagging. Oh, brother. Well, let me sort out my Elytra problems. Let me go get my pickaxes fixed, and then I will meet you over in Port Bray. Well, now that's a pretty unpleasant sight. I went to the Nether yesterday and did a whole bunch of quartz mining. The tower, this large pillar of quartz ore, was actually about 3 times as high as this, until I went and, of course, mined down a whole bunch of it. It's at a diagonal on this side, so it's more like a triangle rather than a square or anything like that. But yeah, I wanted plenty of quartz on hand. I don't know how much I'm going to use. Apparently, I think the recipe's been altered slightly, with a data pack or something, because I feel like if you mined out a whole bunch of quartz and you got quartz ore, didn't it make 4 stacks of quartz ore equals 1 stack of quartz blocks? But I feel like that's the way it is in vanilla. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that was what the recipe is. And in here, 4 stacks of the ore gives you 4 stacks of blocks. So I got way more than I will likely need, but that's fine, because, you know, we might want, you know, to use quartz in other builds in the future, so we'll have a nice supply of it. I will want to finish tearing this down, obviously, because this is a bit of an eyesore. But now we need to look on the inside, and you'll see a bunch of netherrack. Don't be alarmed, we're not using netherrack for the actual design. I used it for temporary blocks to give, I guess, an idea of where things will go. So let's take a look. Just a little bit of work. Just a little bit. It's nothing too fantastic. It only took me like all week long to get the angles just right and all that fun stuff. Basically, these are outlining where the walls and the ceiling will go. This is going to be a huge, kind of like a dome, I guess. It's not perfectly circular. It's actually very flat on the top, because it goes up straight here, and then it makes a pretty fair curve there, and then it really flans out pretty fast. And these sides over here to meet up with the main gate were obviously the trickiest bits, trying to get it to curve just right. I think I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out, though. I definitely think it's an interesting design, to say the least. I just like standing back here and be like, oh my goodness, now I have to actually fill in all the walls. Because I used many stacks of netherrack. I don't know how many stacks, maybe a chest or a chest and a half, maybe a single chest and a chest, and you know, a single chest and a half worth, almost a double chest, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. That's a lot of netherrack just for lines, basically. So think about how many blocks I'm going to need to actually fill this stuff in. Ugh. I do have a little bitty staircase here because I was getting tired of trying to fly up and land on that stuff, especially, you know, sometimes when I'm lagging and whatnot. It can be almost impossible. We do have netherrack on the floor as well. This is going to be laying out where the walls will come down on the outer bits, like along here, and this inner bit here is going to be kind of like a railing of sorts, because this section here on the inside, right up to the gate, this is going to be like a huge entryway platform type of a thing, and the platform is going to come over here, and then there's going to be a little bitty bridge, and then it's going to come to another platform, and in the middle of the platform there's going to be a tree. Now, I know I said in the previous episode that I really liked the vanilla tree that had spawned nearby. I think it was like over there or something, but it wasn't in the right position for the circle that I wanted to build, and ultimately we decided to skip that entirely and make a custom tree in the middle. Right now, as you can see, we only have the base of the trunk, and the idea is that we will be able to toss things in here. So this is Sai's project. He's doing all the sorting and the storage and all that. Ray is working on a super smelter. You can see he's got all the furnaces and a lot of hoppers placed, and I'm doing like the artsy stuff. So Sai's got 2 chests here. I guess this one he's going to use for filled shulkers for sorting, and this one's going to be like your loose items, so I could take these 5 rockets and chuck them in there if I wanted to get sorted, or if I had a shulker full of miscellaneous things, I could, you know, put it in there. It would also automatically all get whisked away and sorted out and all that fun stuff. And I was thinking there might be like a pool here in the middle around the tree. I'm not sure if that's what we'll go with, but I think I like that idea. But regardless, all the space in here between this railing here and that wall right there, this is going to be kind of like void. Not like end void, really. I mean, you won't die if you fall off. It's going to be like a 5 or 6, or I don't know, somewhere like 5 or 10 block drop, and it's just going to be black wool down there. Maybe double wool, I'm not sure, because I don't know. I don't think, does carpet prevent spawns? I don't know. Minecraft noobiness strikes again. It's going to be spawn proof regardless, and it's going to be wool down there, black wool or carpet, so that it looks like it's a void even though it's not. And we'll have some place in each section where if you do fall down, you're not like permanently stuck or whatever. And this the whole platform, the bridges, this platform is going to be floating above that. So it's going to kind of be, I hope, an interesting effect. Now, each of these areas, I wanted to give this a very, very fantasy feel. Very traditional, high fantasy feel. So we're going to have some, this is kind of, I mean, with our twist, of course, you know, it's not going to be 100% perfect, but this is going to be the Dwarven Gate. And then the central area in here is going to have like a more elven feel to it. Over here we're going to have the halflings or you know, hobbits or whatever area over there, so it's going to be really earthy and small feeling, you know, low ceilings probably. Over here is going to be the elven storage, so that over there is going to be manual sorting, so your enchanted books, your enchanted swords, anything that you can't really filter. Over here is going to be the elves non-shulker but still mass storage, so it'll automatically be sorted. This will be for things like end rods. You know, how many end rods do you really need your end rods in shulker boxes? You know, you're not likely to have a lot of end rods, or blaze rods, or, you know, whatever, stuff like that. Over here we're going to have 2 sections. We're going to have the Dwarven Super Smelter and the Human Shulker Storage. So you're going to come along here. Again, this is going to be a little bitty bridge, and then a very small platform, and then you're going to go through an archway. And it's like that on all 3 sides. So the halfling ones and the elves ones, and then the dwarves and the humans will share one. Now, the dwarves are going to split off, go this way, and they're going to come over to the super smelter, and this is going to be very dwarven themed. That's the intention anyway. And then over here, this is going to be more human architecture in, in fantasy worlds. Right now it's just testing out various things. Nothing's really set in stone as far as the design goes. If you watched Sai's stream recently, you'll know a lot more about this than I probably do. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of work to get everything set up. But I think it's going to work out pretty well. For the walls over here, and this is where we could probably really benefit from your guys's input, I guess. Trying to figure out what designs to go with and everything like that. We have collected a lot of coal blocks, because I really like the coal block texture. It feels very polished stone to me. I'm not sure why that is, but it looks like polished stone, almost like a black marble, if you will. And I like that appearance. So I want this to be the walls, and at least part of the arch in the ceiling. I want it to be made out of that. I think it'll look really, since this is going to be a dwarven entrance and you're going to have the elves and everything with the platform in the middle. But I want the outside, the outer rim, to carry on the same dwarven feel. And if you've played, for example, Lord of the Rings Online, I wanted to have sort of you're in a chasm feel, which is what a lot of Lord of the Rings Online in the Mines of Moria feel like. It makes you feel like you're in a huge chasm with a lot of stone, but I want it to look good. I don't want it to look like, a vanilla generated cave times 10, But that's kind of the feel I'm going for the dwarven architecture feel around the rim, and then the elven platform in the middle, and the pathways will be elven. And I was going to use quartz. That's why I was getting all that quartz for the pathways and whatnot. Where did I put those? Yeah, right here. These are our quartz. So let's see what we can make with these. We can make slabs, and chiseled out of those slabs, we can do pillars and stairs, it looks like. Oops. Did that? I feel like I just lost something. What did that use? For the stairs? Oh, the stairs will use your chiseled and your normal one. Okay. So, it's a different texture than in vanilla, but I think it should still work for the elven architecture. Oops, let's get that out of the way. And then chiseled. Yeah. I think this should still work just fine, even though it doesn't look like the normal vanilla textures. These ones do kind of, but I feel like these ones look quite a bit different. Maybe it's just, I've been playing in texture packs so much with Realm of Vasten, I'm starting to lose my mind, oh my goodness, I can't really remember what it looked like. Oh boy. But yeah, I think these should work just fine. I don't want to turn too much of the quartz blocks into the slabs and stairs and all that until I know more about what design it is, because I don't want to waste any of the quartz that I have here. But I do still need to tear down that. So let me get out my fortune pick again. Here we go. And let's get rid of that eyesore. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. I have gotten rid of our hideous nether quartz pillar that was here. I still need to tear down the netherrack there. I had it there just to try and minimize how much quartz fell off the sides. And let's take a look at how much we ended up with. So we have one full double chest of the quartz blocks, and then a little bit extra up here. And then I thought I would take some of this, because I know I'll use some of, these 4 blocks. So let's just, let's just take the whole thing. What do you say? Let's just take the whole thing. I'm not likely to get any more quartz, but we'll just fill this up with quartz ore. I'd like to have a row of, not a full row necessarily, but a couple stacks of each of these, just so that I have them available later. So let's do a full stack of or a full round of slabs. That is a lot of slabs. Let's put, let's put 3 maybe? Let's do 4. Let's just put 4 slabs, or slab stacks in there. Now what is these made out of versus those? Okay, so if we do a full round of chiseled, that'll use up the rest of... Ooh, we only got 1 stack. I was kind of hoping we'd get 2. That's okay, I guess. Let's do that. And chiseled stone has a connected texture that's pretty interesting. Does it do... No, it does not. I thought I'd double check and see if we get any connected textures with these. It doesn't appear that we do, though. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, technically, the chiseled stone bricks kind of give it a pillar effect, and quartz already has a pillar, so maybe that's why. Let's see. Stairs. Looks like we can use those pretty much the same way. So let's do a full stack of pillars. And we're going to put those away. And then we will do... Oops. Somebody had a broken disc in there. Well, we're not going to put that in there. It's creepy. We don't want that one playing. Where do we put this? Right in there. Okay. And then let's do the rest of these as stairs. And because there's... those 2 blocks left, that's gonna bother me. So let's do this, and then we can fill out that row. Now let's see these pillars. Do these change in any way? It doesn't look like it. Looks like they don't have any connected textures, which, it's fine. That's not a problem at all. What about stairs? Do stairs do anything weird? Nope, they look like your traditional stair connections. Alright, as far as the texture is concerned, I mean. We tested those. Slabs, I'm pretty sure there's nothing fantastic about. Ooh. When you get 2 of them... Is that the same texture as... No, it's not. This could be useful. This could be useful. It kind of gives it... like a smooth stone, the new kind, like, I'm all confused with the smooth stone. I think of smooth stone as being that stuff. But smooth stone is actually a totally different thing now. That's unmined stone, I guess? I don't know. But it looks like the new smooth stone texture blocks, so that's kind of cool. So those do connect in an interesting way. That's good to know. Do these do... I don't think these do anything weird. Yeah, they don't. Okay. Alright, well, we can definitely, well, probably anyway, we can probably make use of the connected textures on the slabs, somewhere in here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Wrong button. I want to get some progress going on here, but I also, don't know 100%. I don't want the whole thing to just be white. I want the walkway to be white, so that's where we're going to use some of the slabs. I'm not particularly wild about the slabs having the stone brick texture on the top of it. I'd much prefer having this texture. So what I may end up doing is using the connected texture hack, I guess, or trick or whatever. The connected texture appearance of the smooth stone slabs instead. And then we'll have to figure out some sort of railing. I was thinking maybe we would go with sandstone slabs. See if those look decent alongside the quartz blocks. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll do a wood. Maybe birch wood would be appropriate. I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and grab some slabs and start slabbing this area down. Because I do know I want slabs. Now, I don't know how, some of this is going to be stone, but I know by the time you reach the walkway over here, the little bridge, I want it to be quartz. So let's see. What is our walking level? Right up here. So this is 86. Pretty much on top of the the netherrack, pretty much. I want it to be all flat here. So what we would end up doing is something like this. And this would be our walking level at the bridge. Now, our dilemma is that I do want it to be a bridge. So some of these will actually have to have the slightly raised texture. So it'd be like this. Right there. So you have a little bit of a step up. Now we need to get rid of that. Oh, actually maybe we don't. We may need to if it gives a weird lighting effect, but I guess we'll figure that out later. On the other hand, it might be kind of cool to have the floor a little lit up. It won't, you know, prevent spawning. The light isn't that kind of light, but it could give it a cool visual effect. So let's see. Where's our center point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our center point right here. You know what? I probably want to start this raise a little sooner. Maybe right here, which means I just wasted all these slabs. Come back here, slabs. I need you. Do something like that. I may want to fill that. Actually, I probably won't want to fill that in because it will be... Technically, it would be visible from the underside, because remember, this platform and these bridges are going to be floating over the quote-unquote void. So we'll do something like this, and probably fill this in like that. I think that's probably good, because this will come back a little bit more too. And so you kind of got like 2 blocks worth here, and then maybe 2 blocks worth here. Is this the center point? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, this is the center point right here. So do we want it slightly raised up here as well? Yeah, I think I want that. Do I want it any further than that? No, probably not. That's probably good. And then we'll come back down. Oops, that's not what I wanted. That's too soon. Much too soon. We want to keep it at that level. How far did I bring that? Oops. Come on, get up there. 2 back on every diagonal. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Pretty much like that then. Yeah. And then let's get rid of that torch. I don't think we really need him after all. It'll be spawnable technically for a little while. It's gonna be pitch black down. Well, I guess there's 1 torch at the other end. Fine, whatever. We'll put 1 torch then. But eventually it's gonna be, you know, the void situation, so it won't really matter. Let's do that. Oops, I just realized these are supposed to be the double slabs. So slab, 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 slab. Like this. And then it reaches the platform. So yeah, this is pretty good. The platform, I may want it down. But the problem with that is then I get the stone brick texture, which I was trying to avoid. I may not have any choice with that at all, really. I want to keep as much of this as not spawnable as possible. I don't know how feasible that's going to be as far as not using light sources. I may have to come up with a light design and use that just liberally everywhere. Now the nice thing is if this is an elven area, then we could potentially use like glowstone, or not glowstone, sea lanterns maybe. And also with the tree, I'm hoping to be able to hide some lighting inside the leaves as well. Let me go ahead and work on this though. Let me get this bridge design in those other 4 sections and see what I can come up with the platform in the middle and whatnot, and then I'll bring it back. And welcome back everybody. I've been working on this for a little while now. I ended up coming up with dark prismarine slabs, which I think are a very unusual block to use ever, basically. But I actually found this, I was doing some browsing looking like, you know, elven architecture type things. I stumbled on something that I didn't even know existed yet. Now, I'm a pretty big MMORPG fan, and that stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game. So, like Lord of the Rings Online, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, this sort of thing. And there's apparently an MMO that's been in development for several years, actually. 2014, I think, is when it was first hinted at. I don't know if anything's ever going to come of it. I mean, those of you who are on the MMO scene are all too aware, probably, of what happened with EverQuest Next. They ramped that up way and then canceled it before it even launched. So, you know, who knows what'll happen. Maybe it'll get canceled too. But I found some concept art for it, and it had a white structure. I don't know whether it was like a stone, like a quartz or whatever, or if it was wood, you know, I don't know. But it had a roof that looks exactly like Dark Prismarine. Like, almost even the like shape of the texture is almost the same. Slightly more of a shingle as opposed to like the squares, but it is ridiculously similar. And it was like, you know what? That actually doesn't look that bad. I really wish that we had walls or fences for quartz instead of, you know, having to go with like birch fences here. But I think it turns out well enough. Now, I thought it'd be cool to put water over it, and you can also see I have some colored glass in here. I'm trying to stand back because the water sounds are going to make my audio sound horrible, so, but that's why we've got Optifine, so we can zoom in and look at it anyway. So I've kind of got these bits of glass just dangling down on both sides and running down the middle, kind of alternating the color, just to give it a little extra, I don't know, pizzazz or whatever you want to call it. I've also got the lanterns. Now these are actually end rods that have been retextured to look like lanterns. Now that 1.14 is giving us lanterns, I don't know if they'll switch it back. If they did, I imagine it would be a pretty big task because I'm sure we'll end up having end rods literally all over the world in places that don't really need them. But yeah, I think I like this. Now, I did have to use barrier blocks to keep the water from flowing all over the place, on both sides, and I mean, you can't see the barrier blocks. The only problem is that there'd be like an air gap because some of these are the lower slabs, so I had to waterlog them so that there wouldn't be an air gap, which means the underside is blue, which I'm less than thrilled with, but I guess we don't really have any choice. I think I would prefer to have the waterlogged underside of the block as opposed to having an air gap above it. So, you know, one of those necessary evil type things. Now, it doesn't look necessarily all that fantastic from the top side, especially since a lot of that is not waterlogged on the top, so there's air pockets all over the place. But the idea is that you wouldn't be up here. You know, we're going to have the big tree in the middle, there's going to be the chasm, the quote-unquote voids down there in the bottom. The water is going to have to feed somewhere down there so that it doesn't just go all over the carpet or the wool or whatever. So but you're not really going to be up there. And from down here, I think it looks pretty neat. It has something of an elven feel to it, in my opinion. Now, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, and even I will admit that this is probably not something you would see in Lord of the Rings. However, I think in other games, other, like, not really genres, but other games that involve elves, the architecture can really vary a lot. So I think that this sort of a thing is suitable when you're considering that this is not supposed to be a Lord of the Rings replica, you know? So I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let me know what you think in the comments. I did this all, not the, you know, the bridges and the, you know, the quartz slabs and the bridges and whatnot. I didn't do that in creative, but I did build this in creative just to get an idea. I tried like 5 or 10 different designs before I finally came up with this one. So now I have to I'm going to take pictures of it so don't forget what it looked like, and then I have to destroy it all and actually go and get the resources in survival. And I hope I can get that much Dark Prismarine. Oh no, because I don't think we have a Guardian farm. I'll have to double check and see if we do or not. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go find a Guardian farm, or like you know, one of those underwater what are they called? Monuments? And literally mine the whole thing. Because, yeah, this is going to take a hot bit of dark prismarine. So, the glass should be easy. I mean, I've already got some blue glass like I used up over there, and the magenta should be pretty easy to get. End rods galore. I went end raiding earlier on, got stacks of those. That'll be a cinch. Birch wood, not a problem. Obviously, the water buckets, I could just set up an infinite water source and be set. It's really the dark prismarine that I have that really has me concerned. So I need to get on that. I have got to go see if we've got dark prismarine, if we have a guardian farm, and if not, I think I probably have a lot of work ahead of me. What I do know is that if we don't have a farm, I am not making one. I tried to do that in a single player world. No, not on my own, never. Maybe that'll be something that we could do in the future as a team, but there is no way I'm doing one of those on my own at pretty much the last minute. That would mean putting this whole thing on hold, and we, like I said, we've only got about 2 months at max left to go, so we ain't got time for this. So I'm gonna just call it here. I have got a lot of work to do. Got to pop back over to well, I have to destroy that, and then pop over into survival so that I can go redo it all in creative. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I hope you come back for more. But until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I'll see you later. Bye!